Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Automation Empire. Our Automation Empire is somewhat stable, I would say. I'm actually fairly pleased with how we're doing right now. All the crates are getting loaded onto trucks in a fairly efficient manner. We are selling what we're producing at a pretty good rate. We don't have any backups or anything there, if you don't count the ore backup there. We'll take care of that here fairly soon. And our researchers are researching quite well. They've all turned green, which means that they have research for us to claim. Let's go ahead and do that. There was some questions about some of the decisions that I've made, and also about the game mechanics themselves. I want to take a second to address those. This science setup, we'll start with that since we're right here. My thought with this was based off of the fact that, we needed to get the items out of the crates to be sucked up into the research facility, either directly through one of these or into one of these storage tanks and being pulled off of those. We needed the iron and the coal, not the iron ore and the coal ore. And that is being produced in crates, and the only way to get an item out of a crate that I know of is through one of these little sucker-upper things. And the problem we have with the sucker-upper things is if we put just like a loader directly, like if a bot were to deliver a crate there, we can't use one of these sucker-uppers on it. If you look at that tooltip, it says input only connects to the rails or the transport belt. So it has to be that transport belt. That's the only way to unload a crate, at least using that system. And the problem, of course, with the transport belts, the step conveyors, is you can't build them outside. They have to be built inside of a factory. So that's the whole purpose behind this factory. Was to basically, for those two little belts right there, for those to work. The rail system, that felt a little bit more scalable. One of these mine carts can hold 4 crates of items, so that's where I got these 4 from. One full mine cart is enough to fill up those 4 facilities. And I don't know, it just seemed a little bit more scalable to do it using rails rather than some kind of direct thing or off of the off of these. We could add 2 more if we wanted to, and I don't think it would give us really any bad impact at all. I'm not going to, because I have a feeling these are very power hungry. Oh, that's the factory. Monthly cost $200. Oh, that's cheap. That's super cheap. But there's also a hidden cost in the items. We're not selling the items that these guys are sucking up. We're actually not being able to sell those. So there's like a hidden cost in that. But that's the idea with these. I don't know. It's not probably great. I know there are probably better ways to do that. I know that some of the other YouTubers probably have some really, really cool designs, and I have isolated myself from that. I haven't been watching anybody else because I don't want to go embarrass myself. I don't want to go look and see that everybody's doing it a lot better and a lot more efficiently. Yeah, there's also been some questions about these belts. The belts are really just kind of one way. We can't do side loading or splitting or anything like that. For example, if we take that out and just say, hey, just load onto that directly. That's not going to work. If we ever get a crate coming out of there, yeah, there we go. It's just going to stop. There is no side loading. It's basically just a one-way only. That's why we have to do that. And it's okay. It's a little bit more expensive. Another little quirk with these belts is there's always going to be a blank space in between them. It's just the way that it is. You'll never see 3 in a row. There will always be a space in the middle. Like, it's going to wait. There's an open space. It's going to put it there. And that's why I've kind of expanded out these, because these don't need a space. These can actually stack up. So that's why I've been kind of putting those a little bit bigger on the end. Um, let's see. Anything else? Like I said, I think everything's fairly stable right now. I don't think I think we have too many trucks. That's an issue. I don't think it costs anything. But sometimes some of these trucks over here can get like 2 crates on them and they can wait for a very long time, so we're not selling stuff efficiently. And interesting. What are you doing? Did you just get bored and decide to drive home? It appears so. I guess there's like a wait time here. Well, they'll sit there and wait, and then they'll get mad, and then they'll go home. That's funny. Well, yeah, that's a problem. That's one we need to address, and I think probably the best way to address that is to scale up things a bit. So, I'm looking over here at iron and thinking that it is probably a very good target to scale up because we've got some iron here, we've got a little bit of iron there, and iron is basically our most expensive resource right now, with the exception of coal or gold, and we would have to start from scratch. Let's do both. I've been trying to take out this claw train without taking out half of the factory as I'm trying to click through it. And it's a little bit bigger challenge than I was expecting. But I think we're in a good spot there. Let's just go ahead and demolish this factory. And we will deal with the losses. All right, back this guy up. There we go. Okay, so we can almost support one off of this setup, and we can almost support one off of that setup, one of these crate makers. So I think with these two right here, do we have any more iron close by? I think it's just those 2 little nodes there, yeah. So I think with this one and this one, I'm going to shoot for 3. Basically 3 of these setups here to see. I don't know. It seems like a pretty good ratio there. So let's build a factory, and we need to build a factory that is a size. We don't want it too big. Then again, well, let's just make it huge. Why not? Wasted space is not going to hurt anybody, right? Unless it does. All right, that looks like it'll work. One of the problems in this game is that we can't expand these factory sizes without that I've been able to tell without basically deleting everything. And boy, it sure would be nice to be able to make those just a little bit bigger. Because if I was designing something really big, let's say I designed like this big giant contraption, and then all of a sudden I realized that I needed one more tile, I would have to delete this whole thing and then start from scratch. There is no like saving and reloading of these things, at least that I've been able to tell. I would love for a Control-C, Control-V option there, and boy, it's just not. So, and the other part of that is if I build this big, huge factory and I only end up using like this little corner of it, then all this other space is just going to always be wasted. And the only way to account for that is to completely demolish it and rebuild it. If I had one big criticism of the game, that would be it. I could copy paste or some kind of blueprinting system would be so good. So good. Anyway, let's not complain about things that we don't have. Let's get a little bit of a setup going on here. We'll feed this by a train track coming in. And I'm going to feed that into one of those, I think. Because we're going to shoot for 3, and this has 3 outputs. 1 input and 3 outputs. Or 4 outputs or 4 inputs, depending on how you want to look at it. So I think that'll suffice. We also have this really big one that has a lot more outputs and holds a lot more. But I have a feeling that's going to be excessive, and I typically don't like to buffer things. Because if stuff is just sitting in a buffer, especially in a game that has money, it doesn't make sense to me to buffer items. Let's see. Okay, let's start this out here. Let's get a transfer tube, and a transfer tube. And that is going to feed out into a crate maker. A crate maker. These also have inputs on the sides. Something like that. Okay. And then, let's see, if we ran you out like that, and we fed that into a refinery, and had a refinery there and a refinery there, I believe that would work. We could actually get that closer, couldn't we? Is that going to work? We feed you off on that side. And we can't double those up, can we? So we have to take that down. Yeah. That works. That right there. There, there, and there. Can we tighten that up any? I don't think so. All right, and then we have you. Let's see. I don't want that. I want that. There we go. If that came out, you would be that far. I think we can pull this in one. Like that. Then you would go there, there, and there. Is that going to work? Yes it is. Okay, I believe that works for us. Out and out. All right, then we just need to mirror that on this side. That went over one, and that came down to there, and then over two. What's going on here? Okay, there it is. It was barking at me, and I didn't know why. I still don't, but I am no longer worried about it. Okay, and let's see. You're gonna go over there. You're gonna go over there. And I think that's good for the setup. We want this one to skip every 2. This one to skip every 1. That should help with the distribution. You skip 2. You skip 1. You skip 2. And you skip 1. Okay. A little bit concerned on the money situation. Let's go ahead and turn research off. And start sending out. Oh, we're just going off of our coal supplies right now. That's supporting us economically right now. That's scary. I'm sure we'll be fine. This is why I like to go slow. All right, let's think about how this needs to work. You're gonna go out, 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 and that's gonna go this far. Oh, we had one belt of tolerance there. That was close. You go out. You go out. Out, out, out. Out, out? Is that going to work? Let's see. Let's kind of push everything over into that direction. I wonder if that's going to cause a problem. I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. That's going to go there and there. That, like that. Are we in a good spot there? Are we happy? I think so. Okay, so how do we want to deal with our output here? Let's see, if we pull those guys in, let's take this. Can I not, will you not let me make that turn? Oh, we can. Okay, there we go. That'll go there. That'll go there. Let's see. We take you there. You there. Take you out. This belt, as you're laying it, you need that extra little space there to come, turn you. Why won't you turn? Ah, there we go. That's the turn. All right, there we need that right there. Very good. And we'll set up our outputs, our unload stations, right there. Oh boy, that's pricey. But are we good? I think so. Let's just get a sucker upper and get that right there. And let's make sure that our train can get in here. We'll go ahead and start it up. We're not going to have nearly enough to be able to support this, but that's all right. We just need to get some income coming in. We have almost burnt through our cash reserves here. I think we started out with like 300,000 or something like that. We currently have 58,000. And as we're adding all this stuff, I'm sure, you know what? We should probably pause. That would have probably been wise because we're accumulating electric charge there. This should be pretty much ready to go now. Let's go in and get our claw train running. To pick that up and to drop it off over here. Let's see, factory, window. Window. And maybe an additional one of those to line those windows up. Okay, we'll take you into there. Across that. Then back. And where's our window? It's right. The one in the middle. It's always the one in the middle. Take that there. Went one too far. Like that. All right, let's get drop-off station here. Pickup station. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. And let's get a claw train on there. And again, we're not going to be able to support this, I don't think, off of that input. I think we're going to have to expand out our trains a little bit, but for right now, we can at least see if it's working and generate a little bit of revenue off of it. We've only got $27,000 right now. Yeah, they hardly ran at all off of that. All right, but we got another little load coming in here. Yeah, I think we're going to have to increase the number of train cars we have as well. All right, so we managed to do it with that, and we've got a lot of space left over here. Who knows, we might be able to even combine the coal as well in here, and maybe even gold. So that might work out in the favor. We just have one big building instead of a whole bunch of small ones. I'm okay with that. Let's see. So that brings us in just a little bit of money. I would like to... let's see. I want to set this up to... you do the skip every 2. You do the skip 1. And that'll get it where they pull from those belts evenly. And you know what? We may actually want a couple more. Because it looks like we're starting to back up a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about iron. If that is coming in there, can we make that corner? Like, I don't know, if I were to put a door right there, can you make that? No, of course not. What if we put in one of the S-curves? Almost. Boy, I don't know if we can take that back. Ah, look at that. That's gonna work. Okay. Lovely. Okay, we're gonna take this out, and the trains move faster whenever they're elevated. So since I'm wanting to take this over there, I think we want to try to bring it up a little bit so that it'll get up on a higher level and it'll move faster. And let's just go ahead and trim that little piece off right there. We need to be at level 2. And I'm hoping this is just going to bridge. Oh, yeah, look at that. Fantastic. And that needs to line up with these guys over here. That is 1, 2, and 3. And you need to go right on the side. Looks like that right there is going to work. Okay. We'll elevate you again. And let's see. I think we can even take this up a higher level, right? Oh, nice. Make like a little mini roller coaster here. I don't know that there's any benefit to going to level 3 as opposed to level 2 as far as speed is concerned. I guess we can kind of look here and see. Ah, there we go. Let's see. Power. Of course, we need power. And oh, that worked that time. Usually I can't copy the power poles. Yeah, we'll just run power over here. Okay, that is all running now, and I think we're going to need to put a little bit of a one of these here. Oh, is that the end of the map? Ah, we've reached the end of the map. Okay, and probably have to trim that off once we figure out how long we want our train. What do we got here? Water pipes? Oh, yeah. I was in the wrong section. That's why I was getting confused. Okay, sucker upper. No, spitter outer. Spitter outer. Spitter outer. Spitter outer. All right, now those should be ready to go. Now that'll travel from here, unload, travel all the way over there, and come back and unload. Now, okay, so each one of these carts holds 4, and you guys can hold 10. So, worst case scenario, there's going to be 30 out here. So let's add some more carts here. 5, 6, 7, 8. And that should be more than enough to suck up, even if this thing is completely backed up. Now, we may have to move this a bit to allow for the bigger cars, bigger train. Actually needs to come a little bit further. Just kind of swirl around like that. So it's not always going to be a full train, but it should be able to take care of the worst possible scenario that we had. That is all of those things being full. And who knows, by the time that train travels all the way over here and back, it may be enough time to fill up all that over there. How are we looking over here? 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and 10 out of 10. All right, let's just see how this works here. Lots of input there. We're going to go and travel. I think I see a little bit of a speed increase. We'll see if we notice one up at this higher level. I didn't really notice one there. Okay, and that should completely fill this up, but it's not going to because I don't think we can fill a partial cart. That's kind of lame. It is what it is, though. I guess we can add a couple of extra carts as kind of a tolerance. Let's add 1. We'll add 9, just to have a little bit of leeway there. And on that trip, you guys are not quite full, but close. All right, not bad. How is this thing looking now? I imagine we're going to burn through this pretty quick. I guess we'll just see how efficiently it runs. how are things going here? Looks like we're keeping up with production, but I don't think we're at full production yet. So I think there's probably going to be some changes we have to do in this area. Once these guys start kicking on, I think they're going to start kicking on really hard. But that'll give us something to do next time. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode where, oh yeah, the boxes are coming now. We have to find something to do with all these boxes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.